Hi guys, welcome to OneUX1. Today we're going to talk about user research and what questions you should ask. So I'm going to start with the actual icebreakers. So how do you start your interviews? So you start with your stakeholders, with the interview process. It might be a focus group or an interview, and you start with saying, hi, I'm Cam. I'm the UX designer, or I'm the user researcher, and thank you for joining today. So you thank them, make them comfortable, maybe start with a light discussion with them. Sometimes you have refreshments for them, tea and coffee and drinks. And then you ask them, could you tell me a bit about yourself? Because you want to know a bit about them. Who are they? What exactly do they do? And how do they interact with your product, your service, whether it's a website, an app, or some kind of software. So you ask them what their role is, how they use it, and how much time they typically spend on your product. How much time is it they spend? It might be minutes, it might be hours, it might be once a week, but it's good to know that you know how much they interact with your product itself. The next thing you want to do is gather what are the important tasks that they do and perform with your app or product or website. So you ask them, what are the key things you do on a regular basis that you want to achieve with this product? So for example, it could be that we use it to add information or data, if it's a software, for example, or we use it to calculate pricing, or we use it to buy a product or service. So whatever it might be, ask them what are the key reasons they use it. You can also ask them about things like login. Another thing you ask them is, what was your past experiences and what are your current experiences like? So have they seen any improvements and what would they like to see? Now remember one thing about user research, do not look for a yes or no answer. Always look for a then process. So you want to ask them, for example, did you log in today? And then they might say yes or no. That wouldn't help. So you want to say, how did you log in today? And then they can give you an open-ended answer like, I logged in today using my username and password, which is auto-saved on my system. And then you say, well, what did you do next? Then what did you do after that? What did you do after that? So they might say, I checked in and then I went to the card payment option on the page and I entered my card details and then I pressed submit or purchase, and that's what I did. So you're going through the whole journey with them without sort of blocking their thought and the information that you want to collect by saying a closed-ended question like yes or no. So that's one thing you need to be aware of. Also, you want to ask about recommendation. Do they recommend the website or app to others? And if so, why would they or why would they not recommend it? So you want to find that out. You really want to know if they would recommend your product. And then you want to ask them, how do they access the product? Is it through a URL? Do they type URL? Do they Google search it? Have they got it saved in their bookmarks? So you want to know, because that really helps to show how they interact with the product, how easy they find it to use, and is it available to them as and when they need it. Another really important piece of information user researchers ask, and that's for the designers, the UX and UI people and the developers, is what browsers and which actual devices do they use? Do they use desktop? Do they use app? Do they use a tablet? You'll be surprised, some apps are used more and some apps are used very little, and most of the work, 90% of a customer's interaction with your product might be on a desktop, for example, with the software. Whereas if it's Instagram, it's going to be 99% on the app. So you need to know that because that's how you're going to design. Although we do design a responsive design that adapts to all different devices, but you still need to know that so that you can design it better. And then you want to ask about help and support. Are we helping you? Are there any pain points? Is there any frustration? So how are we helping you? How are we not helping you? Is information that you need easily available to you or not? And then let them talk. And they say, when you ask a question, count to 5 so that you don't say anything else and they start talking. So always count to 5. That really helps. In terms of the number of people that you need in user research, 5 is a good number. A lot of the research suggests that any more than 5, you get the same outcomes and information from even more than 5. But the opinion is normally collected from those 5 as would be the same for 10 or 20 people, because people commonly will have the same problems. So that will also save on budgeting costs. But I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This is 1UX1, the channel that helps you become a great design professional.